Okay, so it's another Survivor. I almost said Wednesday. It's a Survivor Sunday where we can talk about the Survivor episode on Wednesday.
Yes.
So, what did you think of this episode when you watched it, Mom?
It was so intense. I mean, seeing Banu begging on his knees and just, it broke my heart. It really did. At first I was offended. You know, it seemed like he was putting people on the spot, but then I thought, if he grew up in a camp, I'm sure he had to do that for food many times, you know, begging, getting down on his knees for food. And it hurt me. It really hurt me. And I still think about it. I'm still thinking about it and trying to say, you know, I don't know if that was intentional for Survivor, but I felt like it really came from his inner being, from his heart, and it just broke my heart. It did.
Okay. I was not a fan of this episode. This episode made me unreasonably angry.
Oh, wow.
I was so mad watching Banu play Survivor. It bothered me to my core. Because here's the thing. Not everyone is going to be good at Survivor.
No.
That's kind of what makes Survivor fun.
Yes.
You are taking anywhere from 16 to 20, depending on the season, this many people, putting them in a game where they have to use their social skills, whatever athletic ability they have, their puzzle solving skills, and say, however you need to win the game, go for it.
Yeah.
There are very few rules prohibiting what you can and cannot do. Just go, whatever it takes to win, whatever it takes to get to the end. Just keep in mind, the sins you commit in the game will be put on trial at the end of the game.
Yes.
You have to own the way you play. And if you can do that and make the jury respect you, or if you can suck up to them enough, you can win. And that to me is wonderful.
But
I love that.
But mental ability
yes.
is big.
It's very big.
Yeah.
And not everyone is going to be good at Survivor.
Yeah.
There are people who get far in the game that are terrible at Survivor.
Yes.
Because they get carried or because they're just not a threat, so people ignore them.
Yeah.
But they can still be good, entertaining television.
That's
I can
true.
still watch them. Like, I like this person.
Yep.
They're terrible at this. They don't have a strategic bone or a manipulative cell in their body. But I like them, and I want to see them do it. Like, they're just so entertaining. Or, this guy isn't good. He's just chaotic to be chaotic. But it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
And this is the episode where Banu, I just said, I don't have fun watching him anymore.
No, it wasn't fun at all.
And
it wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't fun. For me, it wasn't fun. Yeah.
Because to me, like, I am someone, I've said this several times, I want to play Survivor. I have applied several times to play Survivor. And I could play and be terrible. I have no delusions about that. I could go and I'm like, you know, maybe I could win. Maybe I could play a good game. I could also be the first person out. I could 100% see that happening.
Yeah. Anybody.
Anyone can. Like, it's just...
yeah.
So I'm not going to be like, I'm mad that someone else got to play the game when I know I could be better.
Yeah.
But it's his catchphrase. I'm not here to win $1 million. I'm here to win 1 million hearts. The more I think about it, the more upset I get at it. Like, then why are you here? Like, why are you here if you're not here to play the game?
Well, there's two of them that are there not to win the money, so it must be something.
But here's the thing, like, it's not even... He's not even playing Survivor. Because he has no agency in his game.
Yeah.
His entire game is, what do you want me to do? I will do. Like, the scene that I remember, not from this episode, from a previous episode, he, Jess, and Kenzie are taking a walk. And Kenzie's trying to throw out some options to see, look, I'm close with Tiff. Tiff is close with Q. So I'm kind of sort of close with Q. But let's see, you know, if I extend something to Jess and Banu, will they want to play the game with me?
Yeah.
And she brings that up. She's like, hey, I mean, there's 3 of us at the end of the game. It's a final 3. I mean, I'm not saying anything, but if I were to say something, what would you think? Jess doesn't really reciprocate it. Because Jess is thinking, this is not someone I want to trust,
Yeah.
and then is going to Q and saying, look, this is what Kenzie is saying, maybe you should get her out. Jess was trying to play Survivor. Banu just said nothing, didn't seem like he even realized what Kenzie was doing.
No, he didn't most of the time. He didn't understand.
He's literally begging his tribe mates to teach him how to play the game that they are all playing for the first time.
Yeah, they're all learning.
They're all learning how to play together.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, can you please teach me? No, Banu, I don't want to teach you how to play Survivor. We just won our first challenge. Can you just let me enjoy it for a few minutes?
Yeah, that was really...
And I'm like, yeah, I don't blame her for that. You know, if we just won a challenge, I'm like, I'm so glad that we got a win. It's not immunity, but it's something. And the dude's like, can you just teach me how to play the game real quick?
A little annoying kid, you know.
It's very, like, you know, it's something I talked about in an earlier episode. It was about Banu and how, you know, this kind of person who's just like, tell me what to do and I will do it.
Yeah.
That's a great person to play with because you've got a free vote. And the more I see of Banu, I'm like, no, I get why people don't want to deal with that.
But he never did what he was told. He didn't.
He did. He wrote down Jess's name.
That's just once.
And he wrote down Jelinski.
Even Q was trying to say to him, you know, like, okay, I will teach you. This is what you're going to do. And what I've said to you, when we get back to the camp, don't talk. What did he end up doing? Oh, yeah, can you talk to me, please? Can you please say so? So he didn't, I think he had no game plan.
There was none. And even if you go in with no game plan, like I don't have something I specifically want to do, but after the first few days, I'll kind of feel out my tribe mates, talk to people, see what happens. There was just nothing.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I was getting angry watching him not be bad at playing Survivor, but it felt like he wasn't even trying to play Survivor. It was, can you play Survivor for me?
Yes.
And then just include me along?
Yes.
Because I'm not here for $1 million. I'm just here for 1 million hearts. Like that,
Yes.
there's other shows for that.
Yeah.
Like that's
well, maybe he didn't understand what Survivor's about.
But he'd even said, he's like, I'm a super fan. I've been watching the show. So it's like he's supposed to know what it's about.
Was he understanding it?
I don't know.
Because it seemed to me, because even in the end, he was like, what have I done? They just...
Gosh, that's right.
They just don't want to talk to me. Nobody, I just feel lost and alone. Because what have I done? I've done nothing
Do
wrong.
you remember how the episode started, Mom?
How?
So it starts with after they're told that they're not going to go to tribal. It starts with Yanu. And Banu tells his tribe mates, he's like, oh, by the way, so when I said I didn't say anything to the other tribes during that journey, I did. I told them, you're running everything. I told them, you guys are super close.
Yes.
Should I not have said that?
Yeah. He doesn't understand.
And believe it or not, his tribe was not happy to learn that he was spilling all their secrets. Like, if we merge, you have sunk our games because no one's going to trust me.
Yes.
Everyone knows that we're now a pair, so we can't try and split off and gather information. You have completely sunk our ships.
He has.
And you don't understand what you did wrong.
Yeah.
How? Just how, Mom? I don't get it.
Banu.
Is there anything else at this point in the episode? Not really. It was just that, and then it was at that point on where Stephen Key was like, "Look, I wanted to try this. I wanted to try to coach him up. I can't. I have to cut him loose as soon as we get." I almost got the feel. I don't think they threw the challenge to get rid of him.
No,
but I genuinely feel like it was kind of in their minds of, maybe it's better if we lose so we don't have him anymore.
Yeah. But I think they worked really hard at the
challenge. I think they did. I think they did.
They worked hard at the challenge, and it was awful. That was just an awful episode.
Sorry, go ahead.
Looking at a human being, you know, he was desperate. I think he thought he could stay. He thought there was a way that he could stay. You know, but Nah, it was time for Bonner to
But
go.
do you remember what happened with the other tribes before the challenges?
The Green Tribe was looking for an idol.
Yes.
Yes.
That's right.
And what's her name? The one
It
that
was
has
Gem, and it was Jungle Gem was her
Gem.
nickname.
Yeah, she has the idol.
Yes.
And so they're digging and so deep, but I think somebody figured it out.
It seemed like a few people were kind of starting to think
like,
that no, this is weird that we've
someone
been
has
digging.
it.
Yeah, someone has it. And
Someone has it, and they've hidden it. So because they kind of just stopped. But then they were saying it was, what's that guy's name?
Tim, I think.
They
They seemed to think it was someone else. And she's like, cool. Like, what made me laugh is she hid the thing mostly just to cause chaos. She's like, I just want to see people dig and find nothing, and they're giving me a show. This is hilarious.
Yeah, and then she blamed him.
Yeah, someone else did it first, and she's like, oh yeah, probably, while just thinking to herself, I got away with it. It's like, that was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. It was. But I felt sorry for, what was her name? The young woman that was looking for it, the one that blew the challenge.
Oh, Maria, I think?
Maria, yeah. She really thought she had something.
Because she was the one that found the one that found the note.
She thought she had something on Maria. I like Maria. I really like her. I hope she's in the final four, Yeah.
And what did... Oh, sorry, I see my cat over there. Do you remember what happened with the Orange Tribe?
The Orange Tribe, Tevin, saw... What's her name again? Soda going around to everybody, talking up everybody, telling them, yeah, I want to be with you. And he was like, no, Soda's got to...
Soda has to go to...
Soda's got to go to.
And it's interesting, like, whenever I watch seasons of Survivor, and you'll have someone like Soda who says, the game is always moving, you have to always be playing it. And that's why she's like, I'm always going up to this person, seeing how they're doing, what are they thinking, and this person. And how, for some people, it's, I always have to be playing the game. If not, it's going to pass me by.
Yeah.
And then other people see that and go, they're a
time
problem.
to go.
Like, okay, you're a problem. I got to get rid of you.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't hide. She doesn't have a way of doing it, in the trees and in the coconut fronds. She just speaks to everybody. So, but that's her character. She's got that character. That huge,
the camp counselor.
The camp, exactly. She's camping and talking to all the kids and whoever, adults, and so that's what she's doing, But Tevin's playing the game.
He is, and Hunter is too, because when Tevin was talking to Hunter, he's like, I don't know, I see Soda talking to people constantly. I'm getting a little worried.
Yes.
Maybe we should get her out. And Hunter's like, maybe you're right. Maybe that is something I'm willing to do it. And confessionally goes, I've been wanting Soda gone because Tevin is my number one, and she and I are competing for the same alliance member.
Yes.
If I can have her, I don't even have to convince him to get rid of her now. Like, this is so easy. Like, thank you. Now I also don't have to hear the singing.
Yeah.
So I believe it was kind of around this point in the episode that we got the reward challenge.
Yeah.
Which I don't remember the challenge super well. I remember specifically decent-sized fish. It didn't say, like, big fish. It was just for decent-sized fish. It made me laugh because this was a couple of years ago. Clay and I went to Chili's.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what we got. I think we both got burgers or something. And the waiter comes by, asks us how the food is. We're like, yeah, it's fine. It's all right. He's like, all right, so long as it's decent. And that has lived in my head rent-free forever. It's just so long as it's decent. And it's like, hey, as long as we're doing decent,
that's bad.
We are happy with ourselves and our quality of work. And then so just these are decent-sized fish. Made me laugh as I thought about that. I was like, all right, so long as they're decently sized, Jeff, it's worth playing for.
Yeah, they weren't even decent sized. Because when Tevin finished cleaning them, did you see those little
they were
things?
pretty small.
Those were small fish, but it was food. They were excited. They ate. you know.
So it was, Yanu won the challenge,
Yes.
but they gave up their fish so they could have supplies to cook the fish with.
Yeah.
Because
No.
because they wouldn't have been able to cook the fish, I don't think. 'Cause they
Yeah,
didn't have anything.
yeah,
It's like,
but-
we'll trade that so we can have just materials for later.
Yeah.
And I think a tarp as well.
A tarp. They got stuff for camp.
Mhm.
You know, a tarp and I think something to cut bushes or whatever. Because remember, they still don't have the flint.
Yeah, they don't
So
have
they
the
can't make a fire. They cannot make a fire. So, you know.
And then Nami won second, which means they got less fish. There might have been also slightly smaller fish as well.
Yeah.
And that's when we got to see Tevin and talking about the fish cleaning.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about that part?
What did he say? He used to go fishing with his dad.
Yes.
And as he grew older, he was too busy. Is that what he said?
I think
Less
so. It was
time.
like, you know, like I wanted
Yeah.
to go fishing again with my
I
dad,
was
but it was
busy.
harder and harder to make time. And now that my dad is gone, like it's just not something we can do anymore.
Yes, yes. And he decided he was going to go and clean the fish like he used to. His dad had taught him how to do it, so he was really good at it, you know. So, yeah, that too was kind of a tearjerker for
It
me.
was like that was a really heartwarming scene,
Yeah.
and like I don't want to say that I liked it because I don't want to say like, yeah, I like this guy talking about losing his dad, you know, but like it's one of those just very human moments
Yes, it was.
in Survivor that endears me a lot to a player when I can see. I think that's why I really like Tevin. It's like I can see like the human being in here,
Yes.
but I can also see this is someone who was
Who wants
trying to play
play the
Survivor. It's like
game, yes.
I like this guy.
Well, that's what you want.
Yeah,
in
that's why I
Survivor.
don't like Bob.
You want people to play the game.
That is, as
Yeah.
Tevin even said at the very start, he's like, look, I am here for $1 million. That's why I showed
I
up.
mean, the best man win. That's what it's about, you know. But, going back to Banu, he's out.
Yeah, because then we had the immunity challenge, which they lost. It was
Yes.
another one that's right down to the wire.
Yeah.
Nami wins. Siga gets in second. And one thing I noticed, because usually after an immunity challenge, you'll get like one, maybe two players will give a confessional and be like, all right, well, we're going back to camp. This is what's probably going to happen. Hopefully something, or maybe talk about the challenge. Every single one of them said, Banu, Banu, Banu. It was no question.
Well, I think he knew, too. Because remember, he was going around looking for an idol.
Mm-hmm. Because that's what happens right after is we are watching him look for this idol that we know Tiff has. So we know this is a fruitless endeavor.
Yes.
And he's looking for it. He's like, they're not talking to me, so I know I can't talk my way out of this. I don't have a vote to play my shot in the dark. So you just know that he is gone. He knows that he's gone. And I think at one point Kenzie goes up and is like, hey, how are you? Terrible. Do you have an idol I can use?
Yes.
And then he goes to Tiff on his knees.
That was awful. That was just awful. Yeah, that was really, really. I've never seen anything like that in Survivor. You know, a pleading like that. No, I haven't. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, just saying. You know, that was not good to see.
The part for me that broke me, and this was the moment where I said, okay, 100, I don't like this guy anymore. Now, again, this is just solely as a player. I've never met him. I'm not saying I don't like him as a person. I don't wish any ill will upon him or anything like that.
Yes.
It's when he's on the beach looking up at the sky and blaming God and saying, like, why did you bring me here to go out so early? Like, okay, first of all.
Yeah. It's all you.
Like, you were given a genuine bona fide miracle when someone was medically evacuated, which sucks for him, by the way.
Yeah.
But you had a chance, and you immediately squandered it by telling your tribe, hey, by the way, this is the information I told. Oh, was it bad that I did that?
Yeah.
And he has the audacity after to say, you know, being honest is what ruined my game. You know, if I wasn't so honest, if I wasn't here to win 1 million hearts, maybe I could have played a game of Survivor. Like, I don't know. Maybe if you went there to play Survivor, you could have played Survivor.
Yes.
Don't blame God for you being terrible at this. You had your...
Yeah.
My this is just kind of a me thing. The way I see my relationship with God, and like when I read the Bible and stories, is that God won't all just give you what you want, but will put you in position. Like when I read stories like of King David, God didn't snap his fingers and kill Goliath, but he put David in a position to fight Goliath and prove himself. Whenever there was an army, it's like Judah had to fight something or Israel had to fight something. It wasn't, so I'm just going to make the entire army sick so they just die. It's like, I am with you, but you still have to show up. You still have to fight.
To show up.
Banu did not show up and blamed God for him not showing up. And it infuriated me watching that. Like, that's why, like, it made me so mad at the end of the episode. I'm like, I wish no ill will on the man, but I am glad he will not be gracing my screens for the rest of this season, Bob.
So you were mad at the end of the episode, and I had clinics, and I'm just like, oh, there's one of his million hearts.
Then one of the million hearts. I was like, Banu, you had my heart last week. I'm taking it back.
Well, you played Survivor. You took your heart back. Oh, yeah, but boy,
you were saying that, like, you were very moved from hearing the story.
Oh, I was. I was. It broke my heart. You know, you can't. When you go through, yes, he's great. He came to the best country in the world. He managed to get out of that situation, which tells me he's not all anxiety. Or he was just in the wrong place, I think, at the wrong time somehow. Because if he got out of that situation, because he went to university and he applied and he must have had quite a resume, you know, to be able to come into the United States when he was living in a camp. So he's a very smart guy, but his background, it's hard for those things to leave your head. So somehow the situation he was in, I think, took him back there. Because he ended up being this kid, this desperate, to me, he just seemed like this desperate kid. Help me, I don't know what to do. I'm 4 years old. Help me, please. Give me something to help me, you know. I think mentally it just took him, it took him back. To me, it was, you know, you're in a camp, you've got no fire, you've got no blank, you know. I think it did. It messed his mind. It really messed his mind.
Now I feel bad for being upset.
No. I mean, because when you're in Survivor, we watch it for the toughness. Well, you see tons of meltdowns, but you want everybody to say, I'm going to fight, I'm going to win, I'm going to lie, I'm going to, you know, hide. So that's why I've watched Survivor all these years. What, 30 years? No, 25?
I think 99. So about 25.
Yeah, 25.
Right.
Yeah. So that's why I've watched it that long, because you see people. I mean, when people are desperate and they've got no food and they've got most of them just fight and fight and fight. And this guy crumbled. He just crumbled, you know.
I will say, I remember last week, I was like, man, they're really emphasizing how they want to coach up Banu and how he's got room to grow. I'm like, oh, maybe this is going to be one of the big stories as him growing into this great Survivor player. And, you know, his start is really rough, but he's going to come out swinging. Maybe he's going to win this thing, and they're setting up this great redemption. So, oh, never mind. That is not what was being set up at all. I will take the L on that.
And even Jeff seemed like he was just happy to get him out. Because he's like, everyone's decided. We don't really have to go through the vote. It's time for you to leave, Banu. You know, it was like, nah, it's time for you to go. You're messing up my Survivor. Oh, boy. What an episode.
You have any other things you want to say, Mom?
No, I'm just excited for Wednesday. Wednesday coming.
All right.
Can't wait.
It'll be here soonish.
Yes,
and,
I can't wait.
We'll see you next Sunday to talk about it.
Yes.